I have left Amanda. We parted ways in Vienna, and I am now in Verona. The 8-hour-long train ride to get here. The scenery as I went through the Austrian Alps in the beginning of Italy was beautiful. And then I foolishly thought that my hotel wasn't that far from the train station. I could walk it. An hour and a half later I arrived home. So this morning I got up, had breakfast, waited at the bus stop outside the hotel for over an hour, and no bus came. So now I'm making that hour and a half walk again to the city centre, so that I will be able to actually see some Verona. Okay, so I've caught one bus, and I got off somewhere, and I found my way to something else, and I checked my map a couple of times, and I found myself by the main looping river that seems to go around the old part of the town. And I found some really nice buildings around here, but I've just got to the river, and that is what it looks like. So now I'm going to keep walking around the edge of the river until I get to another bridge a bit further on based on my map. And then I'm going to cross that and go into the middle bit, and hopefully I'll find some more touristy stuff and some lunch. So this is the street that I'm walking down. Check out those buildings. I love these arched fancy windows with the little bits of decoration on top. I don't know what this statue's for, but it's a lady with a sword, so I'm won over. This is a statue of Dante. So I found some sort of kind of memorial. There's a lady on a bed up there, and I actually saw it online that this was a place, but I'm not sure who it's a memorial to. And then there's this metal cage surrounding this tower thing. After I had lunch, I discovered this really interesting walkway area, which is called the Piazza degli Erbi, which I just mangled horribly. There were a couple of statues along the way that were very beautiful. There was a couple of fountains in there, and there was a whole bunch of stalls massively covered in plastic coating because it was raining. It apparently used to sell fruits and vegetables, but now it was pretty much just souvenirs. I sat down there and had a hot chocolate, and thank God it was a good one. Italy knows how to do hot chocolate. And then I just sort of followed the crowd down the street, and I found myself outside Juliet's courtyard, which is where they believe, if Romeo and Juliet was historically accurate, it would have taken place. And all the plaques in there seemed to indicate that it was real, even though everybody knows it's fictional. It was very pretty, it had a very nice balcony. The statue of Juliet was nicely made, although one of her boobs was way more polished than any of the others. Apparently if you grope it, you get luck. What I actually found most interesting about the courtyard area was the entryway, archway, which you went through to get in, actually has a law about it in Verona, that you can write messages in it of love. However, the Verona law is that you cannot erase any messages there. You can write over them, but you cannot erase them. It's punishable by fines, which I thought was incredibly cool. I had a look in some souvenir shops, and they really seem to focus heavily on the Romeo and Juliet thing. And unfortunately, all of them seem to be focusing on the lovers aspect. I really would have liked a statuette of them dead together, but that didn't seem to be something that anybody wanted to offer me. And then I wandered down and found the Verona Arena, which is basically a small coliseum in the middle of Verona. They still use it for stage productions and things like that. I walked along another main road until I found this really cool bridge. I'm on a very cool bridge that leads over the river that I was on before. This is much cooler than the old bridge. It has little stalls all on the edge of it, which apparently is not that unusual in Europe. And one of the stalls had a guy actually making little figurines of clay, and my favourite, which he was just finishing when I was watching, was of 3 owls sitting on a chest of drawers, and you could blow into the tail of each owl and it'd make a different whistle noise, which I just thought was awesome. And the view from where I'm standing is actually pretty cool too. There's a courtyard next to it. So this is the same bridge that I just crossed over. I'm going to go across it again, walk back to my hotel, and then I think I will edit this video and have an early night, because tomorrow I have to be up bright and early to get to the train station in time, because I'm going to Venice. So here I'm walking along past a McDonald's, went up to under this little balconied bridge because that's the kind of city this is.